Orbit Corporation, things are probably turning around for the better in Mumbai real estate. The quarter, however, has been a bit of a washout, so to say. PAT down 86%, sales down 37%. Pujit Agarwal, Managing Director and CEO of Orbit, joins us right now to speak about all that happened in the quarter. More importantly, all that will happen in the quarters ahead. Pujit, great to have you. Thanks so much for joining in.
Morning.
Pujit, the question really is that, I mean, there's no doubt that this quarter has been extremely poor. There's been an 80-odd%, over 80% drop in profits. Can things reverse dramatically in the Jan-Feb March quarter itself, or can things reverse per se in the next couple of quarters?
Well, what you're seeing is a reflection of what happened over the last 1 year, and not being a real estate company and not a manufacturing company, so there's a time lag between what really happens and it shows in the numbers. So therefore what you're seeing is what is the past. I don't think that there'll be a significant change in the next quarter, but the changes that you'll start seeing is what's now happening, and that's start coming from the next year onwards, which is the next financial year. And you'll start seeing some phenomenal uptick, whether it is sales, whether it's EBITDA margins, because already in the present numbers, if you'll see, the EBITDA margin is at a healthy 39%. What's really getting impacted is the interest costs, which are, killing the EBITDA margins, and post EBITDA margins resulting in a poor PAT. We start seeing better numbers, whether it's top line, whether it's sales, whether it's EBITDA margins and PAT numbers moving ahead.
Well, what do you think will bring about that change?
Well, in Mumbai for last 1 year, the construction activity really came to a grinding halt. The real reason was that the regulatory regime was being spruced up, and they said that we need to change the laws. The new laws are in place on 6th Jan 2012. They notified the new DC regulations, the development control regulations, and now all the pending projects which needed to be launched, which needed to be planned, those would be planned and launched. So at Orbit we are looking at 3 launches itself in Mumbai and another one at Mandwa. So therefore, all the 4 launches would impact the cash flows in a positive way quite significantly.
It's interesting you're saying that, Pujit, because yesterday we just had a discussion about how, their inquiries are increasing, and there are deal finalizations that are happening right now. So, if you were just to compare the quarter that you've wrapped up and the quarter that we are in right now, how much of a difference would you see in real transactions, so to speak? I mean, while we have bottomed out,
that's right.
How strong do you think would the recovery be?
So as I mentioned earlier, the numbers that showed in the quarter, those are what happened in the past. But what we need to track is the fresh sales. The fresh sales that we saw in the previous quarter, Q3, which is what we are reporting today, is 39 or 40,000 square feet we sold for a total value of about 70 to 75 odd crores. So that is showing an uptick, which was there almost 25 crores in one quarter and 10-12 crores in Q2, which was very, very poor. However, in this quarter, we'll start seeing it in 3 digits, the fresh sales. So therefore, the deal finalizations are going on at good prices.
Okay. So
could you put a number to that in terms of the overall value that you'll be able to sell?
Well, I think, at Orbit we've got almost about 2 million square feet of space which is now on offer, or which would be on offer over the next 4 to 5 quarters. So out of this 2 million square feet, it's anybody's guess what number it would really translate to. But I would
maybe
say
a ballpark range of how much.
At least 500 to 7,000 square feet out of this would really be translated into actual sales. I don't see that there's any difficulty in that. No. This is over the next 4 quarters.
Pujit, the other question is really what's happening to prices per se, because for the last 1 year we've seen that the developers haven't blinked the eye and the buyers really haven't gone out and transacted too much. Now you're speaking about, and a couple of other people also are speaking about transactions starting to happen.
That's right.
Are they happening at the prices at which, at levels at which prices have held out, or is there a bit of a correction that is coming into prices as well?
I'll break that up into 3 segments.
Sure.
One, and of course in Mumbai. One is the commercial real estate. In commercial real estate, that's office space, we are seeing a 20 to 30% correction because of the supply which is coming. So the correction is there, but it's stabilized over there. As far as residential supply is concerned, residential we are seeing it's like almost stable because of lack of supply and high demand. Transactions did not take place because of a higher price, but now the transactions are taking place at the current levels. I don't see prices moving up or down in the residential segment in Mumbai. As far as retail spaces are concerned, street level retail space is still going through the roof. But as far as mall spaces are concerned, we've seen a 20 to 30% correction over there as well.
Okay. And the other bit would be for your projects. You did mention that you're launching Mandwa. There is a Kilachand House project as well that you have on.
That's right.
And you did mention that you'll be probably launching a couple of projects or 3 projects. Are these happening in the current quarter itself? And, out of the total 500, 700 crores or whatever figure you did mention, or the 0.5 million square feet that you will sell over the next 2 or 3 quarters.
Right.
Would the April to June quarter by itself, you did say Jan, Feb, March may not be as attractive.
Correct.
April to June, pre-monsoon.
That's right.
Would that show really good traction? Is that a sense that you have?
Yeah, so I'll again break that up into 2-3 parts. One is Kilachand House. No, I don't think Kilachand House is going to be launched this year. It would be most likely next year, subject to us wrapping up the balance acquisition.
Okay.
Second, 3 launches in South Mumbai itself. So we've got those 3 launches in South Mumbai. Mandwa launch is across the harbour, which is at Alibag. So therefore, that is the 4th launch. This 0.5 million square feet sale that we're talking about is across all the projects. And we would see significant change in the next 3 to 4 months, because already in the current months of January and February, the sales have been healthy. Sure. So we are seeing that the uptake is there, and certainly we'll start seeing good numbers in terms of fresh sales in the next 3 to 4 months, which of course will translate to good cash flows for us.
Could you build that comparison into the kind of the number of inquiries you were getting in the last quarter, the quarter that we are talking about, and the first 2 months of this quarter, just to give us a sense of how much has interest changed or picked up?
Right. So
even if they do not translate into final transactions.
In fact, I'll talk about the final transaction. Say for example, we sold about 40,000 square feet of space in Q3. So in Q4, I believe we should be looking at anywhere between 50 to 80,000 square feet of space of sale itself in this particular quarter.